Oh hey guys, welcome back to the homestead. Today we're going to be trimming our apple trees. Right now is the perfect time in the Midwest for you to trim your apple trees so you can get the most fruit in the year to come. There is the central leader method, which means you'll kind of keep a straight line all the way down your tree, and you'll have some branches out at the bottom. It'll skip a couple of feet, and then you'll have some branches at the top, and you'll repeat the process. Now the second popular way to prune an apple tree would be called an open center, which means that you would not have that center leader and all branches would come out from the lower part of the trunk and then just start wying out. One of the main goals in pruning your apple tree or any fruit producing tree like peaches and pears is to create more sunlight to get on the buds so they produce more fruit, and also to allow the air to circulate around the tree. When you have branches and leaves and everything touching each other, moisture builds up and then you're just opening yourself up to disease. Now, one of the key things to remember when you're pruning your apple trees or any other pruning jobs that you do around your place is to make sure that you're using sharp pruners. So make sure that you have a nice edge on your small hand pruners, and then also make sure that your saw that I'm using today is really sharp and ready to go. One of the things you don't want to probably do on an apple tree is use a lopper, because the lopper will actually tear the fibers of the bark of the tree and it could promote more disease. So if you use the saw, you'll get a nice clean cut, and that'll cut down on that possibility. Now there's no particular way that you should cut your apple tree. It's mostly personal preference and aesthetically pleasing, and keeping in mind how you're going to harvest your fruit. As we grow older, we don't want to be reaching too high up in the sky for us to get our fruit. So we're gonna knock this tree down some, and we're also gonna open it up. Also, when trimming your apple trees, you wanna make sure not to take off more than about a third. So you wanna be careful on that. You don't wanna stress the tree out, but it is okay to take back quite a bit. Now when you make your cuts, you wanna stay as close to the tree as possible so it looks like that the branch was never there. Also, anything on the underneath that's kind of growing down, I want to get rid of that as well, because it's not going to get any sunlight because of the branches that are kind of going out and up. So anything that's going to be shaded anyways, I don't want to waste any energy going to that branch. I want it to go to the places that are going to get the most sun. Well, as you can see, we have a nice airy apple tree now. We don't want any crossing branches. We don't want any branches that are going to have leaves on them to be touching other branches. We want the maximum amount of sunlight to penetrate all these little buds that are going to produce apples, and we want the air to be able to circulate around here to keep our tree very healthy. I'm going to continue trimming up the rest of the apple trees, and then we're going to walk over to the garden. Man, I tell you, those trees even look better. So we got that all finished up. Now the next thing on my list that I need to do today, as far as my gardening and prepping for the abundance about to be showered on us this spring and summer, is to measure up these beds so I can figure out how much compost I'm gonna need to refill them back up. Because apparently dirt evaporates. So every once in a while you're going to need to add to your raised beds and get them fluffed back up a little bit. It's not totally necessary, but we like to keep them up a little higher, and then every couple years we won't have to worry about it. Well, that's it from the log cabin. Hopefully you guys got a few good tips from trimming the apple trees. We also got all of our beds measured so we know exactly how much compost we'll need to replenish those beds, because we are really getting excited for the growing season. As always, thanks for watching our videos. We really do appreciate it. If you're new here, my wife and I, we live in a log cabin in the Midwest without any solar power. We grow most of our own food, and we share our adventure with you guys to help you live a more sustainable life. We'll see you on the next video, and be safe out there.